On the news tonight, House of Reps donates 100 million naira to Borno flood victims. Anambra Assembly summons oil company in Ogbaru local government. Plus, former President of the Senate, Mark, mourns General Tete. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News. I am Abubakar Galadima. The news begins as the House of Representatives showed its support for Borno State flood victims with a 100 million naira donation. This was when a delegation of the House, led by Representative Alhassan Ado Doguwa, visited Governor Babagana Zulum in Maiduguri to offer condolences and solidarity with the government and people of Borno State. Presenting the donation on behalf of the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, and all members of the Green Chamber, Alhassan Ado Doguwa pledged the National Assembly's commitment to ensuring legislative and budgetary solutions to flood disasters across the country. The House also commended President Bola Tinubu's swift response to the plight of Borno people at this critical time. The delegation also visited the Shehu of Borno, His Royal Highness Garbai El Kanemi, where they reiterated their commitment to supporting the people of Borno in rebuilding and recovering from the flood devastation. Earlier on, the House of Representatives has implored the National Pension Commission to sensitize prospective pensioners on accrued rights and procedures as a way to address delays in accessing pension benefits when they retire. This was during an investigative hearing by the House Committee on Pensions. National Assembly correspondent Isa Muhammad reports.
Over the years, challenges have plagued Nigeria's pension scheme, leaving many retirees in uncertainty, loss of hope, and even death, as pensioners face difficulties assessing their benefits. In exploring ways of overcoming retirees' plight, House Committee on Pension engages the National Pension Commission, PENCOM.
Investigative, which will help the committee and the National Assembly in shaping the pension fund administration in Nigeria.
For the PENCOM management, multifaceted approach is needed by all stakeholders in pension matters.
What needs to address the issue of the accrued right is the payment of the accrued rights. And then that is what we have been trying to get the critical stakeholders to address.
Both parties agreed to engage more in identifying and verifying accrued rights, as well as eradicating delay in payment of pension benefits in Nigeria. From the National Assembly, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
Making clear the peculiar challenge of operating in a political environment and the essence of time management in public service was at the front burner at the 2024 retreat of the National Assembly in collaboration with the National Assembly Service Commission. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide reports that the theme of the four-day retreat is promoting interinstitutional synergy for enhanced legislative performance. His report.
This retreat is intended to discuss and review policy documents issued by the Commission, as well as circulars emanating from the Office of the Head of Service of the Federation, to ensure proper understanding and effective implementation in the National Assembly Service.
This retreat is also designed to x-ray other activities that are necessary for execution by the management of the Commission and the National Assembly in the quest to bring about efficiency and effective service delivery in the lawmaking arm of government.
This retreat provides a valuable opportunity for us to engage in deep introspection and critical assessment of our current level of interinstitutional collaboration, identifying strengths to build upon and bottlenecks impeding optimal synergy.
We believe that as PLAC, our role and our work is to promote the integrity of these institutions, to ensure that the public sees this institution as key in promoting and achieving democracy.
Topics at the retreat touched on the role of participants in making Nigeria's democracy enduring through the provision of a stable and well-defined leadership by adhering strictly to civil service rules. Experts also diagnose challenges of human resource management and prefer solutions.
Civil servants must accept and respect elected appointed political leaders at all levels, but sadly without unnecessary sycophancy.
Take time off to break and rest, and take advantage of information and communication technology. These things have come to stay. The major time saver of our time now is ICT.
The consensus here is that the performance management system now in place across government-related agencies would provide a defined scheme of monitoring and evaluation in the civil service as established by the present administration. In Abuja, Joshua Ogutiri, NTA News.
I am joined in the studio by the Clerk of the Senate, Chinedu Akabweze. Clerk, you're welcome to NTA Parliamentary News. We shall be discussing matters arising from the recently concluded 2024 National Assembly retreat. You represented the clerk to the National Assembly, Sani Magaji Tambuwal, at the retreat, and no doubt the session have been expository and persuasive as well. Why the call for this retreat?
Okay, we're here on a retreat between the National Assembly Service Commission and the National Assembly bureaucracy to build synergy in our work of keeping the legislative arm of government working harmoniously and effectively.
Oh, thank you very much. From the papers presented, it seems there are distinguishing factors between public service and the civil service. Can you shed more light on this?
The key takeaway from there is that the civil service is more embracing. Public service is a little more restrictive. In that in public service, you could have political office holders and political appointees as part of the public service, but all of them don't equate to civil service. The civil service is the main umbrella body of those civil servants, public office holders, and political appointees.
As far as the National Assembly is concerned, what are the gains from the retreats, especially x-raying the analysis from the two papers presented?
The two papers presented, are unique. And the person who participated during the presentation ceremonies, must have learned a whole lot, particularly from His Excellency Senator Ibrahim Shekarau. He practically in the paper presentation x-rayed his public service life, public service of humility, conscientiousness, which eventually got rewarded by the people themselves, in the sense that the people practically compelled him to come into political life to serve them. From the experience of his civil service background, it shows that whatever you are doing, the people are watching, and trusting God, when the time comes, the people will reward you. Then the paper on time management, I needn't say much about that, because if you don't utilize your time well, time waits for no man. It will leave you by, and at the end of the day, you will not become a productive person.
Okay, thank you very much for being here with us on NTA Parliamentary News.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Moving on, Anambra State House of Assembly has summoned an oil company in Ogbaru local government area over allegations levied against it. Details after these short messages. Don't go away. Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You are watching NTA Parliamentary News reaching you from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. You can follow us on the platform showing on your screen for more updates. The proliferation of private clinics as well as School of Health in Niger State remains a source of concern for stakeholders in the health sector. It is in this regard that the House Standing Committee on Health and Nutrition held a one-day public hearing on a bill to regulate private clinics as well as private schools of health in the states. Musa Mikael has the details.
The two bills, which have both scaled second readings and undergoing stakeholders' input for its harmonization in order to avoid duplication, are both private member bills, sponsored by members representing Payako constituency, Omar Nasir, and that of Lapai, Idris Musabata. The first bill seeks to provide for an agency for the registration and regulation of private health care facilities in the state, while the second bill seeks to regulate schools of health care minimum standards so as to provide for basic standards to be observed by operators of private schools of health in the state.
In the state, a lot of our people still access healthcare through the private health establishments, be them primary healthcare facilities, clinics, hospitals, patent medicine stores, pharmacies, medical laboratory, and even scanning or radiological centers. So it is important that our people get the best quality while they access those services at those facilities.
We got a full submission by the various stakeholders we invited for this particular public hearing. We gave everybody the chance to present its own opinion in respect to these bills, and they have given us, and we have given them a deadline to submit the hard copy so that we can sit, harmonize the individual submission to come up with a final report.
The Speaker, Abdul Malik Sarkindaji, emphasized the importance of the two bills, adding that if passed into law and ascended to, will address issues of quackery in the medical profession, which has increased morbidity and mortality rates in the state.
A department, not even within the Ministry of Health, that is saddled with the responsibility of checkmating the excesses or the existence or the establishment or the operation of private clinics across the state. It is just not possible. These bills should come to see the light of the day. That is exactly what we're going to adopt.
The committee will be collecting recommendations from stakeholders in the health industry for suitable mechanism that will regulate the conduct and affairs of private health facilities across the state. From the State Legislative Complex, Musa Mikael, NTA News.
As flood continues to wreak havoc in many areas of the state, the Sokoto State House of Assembly has moved a motion calling on the state government to construct drainage systems and rehabilitation of some roads in Arkila area in the metropolis to ease movement of residents and commuters plying the road. Nuruddin Adeli has more.
Flood has continued to be a source of worry in almost every state of the Federation. Sokoto, inclusive many local governments in the state and metropolis, are seriously affected by the flood. The inhabitants of Arkilla Magaji, Arkilla Liman, Nasarawa, and Arkilla Federal Locust, all in Wamoko local government, are concerned by the lack of drainage system that makes it difficult for easy flow of water. The persistent being experienced in recent days resulted to flood that affect about which require urgent rehabilitation and construct drainage system along this road to facilitate smooth flow of water during rainy season. It is against this backdrop that member representing Wamoko constituency Abubakar Lamido presented a motion on the floor of the House calling on the state government to consider the construction of drainage system and rehabilitation of these roads in these areas.
In view of the above, I'm appealing to this honorable House to call on the state government to consider the construction of drainage and rehabilitation of road in Arkilla Magaji, Arkilla Liman, Nasarawa, and Federal Locust, all in one local government.
On the other matters, as education remains the backbone for the development of any society, member representing the Ngishuni constituency, Siraju Muhammad Shuni, moved a motion on the floor of the House calling on the state government to upgrade junior secondary schools Chefe and Ilela Gajara to status of senior secondary schools. The member noted that the population of these towns are multiplying, hence the need to upgrade the schools to avoid congestion and dropping out of school due to lack of senior sections in these schools.
If the junior secondary schools are upgraded to the status of senior secondary schools, it will reduce truancy and the number of dropouts, thereby raising the standard of education in the inhabitants of Efe and Ilela Gajara and the neighboring communities.
The Speaker, Chukwubala Bodinga, announced the House unanimous resolve to call on the state government to look at the possibilities of construction of drainage system and the rehabilitation of roads in Arikele area of Wamoko and to upgrade these junior secondary schools in the Ngishune local government for the benefit of the people. In Sokoto, Nuruddin Abdullah Adili, NTA News.
In another development, the Anambra State House of Assembly has summoned for interrogation an oil company in Ogbaru local government area following allegations of lack of compliance to the Petroleum Industry Act leveled against the oil company by the host communities. Daniel Okbai reports that the oil company was at the plenary to provide answers to questions raised by the legislators.
Ogugbele and Oguanocha are the last two communities in Ogbaru local government area of Anambra State which share common boundaries with Rivers, Imo and Delta states. These communities lack most of the facilities such as access roads, potable water, electricity, health facilities and others which define a habitable society. Yet, these are some of the communities blessed with crude oil and have put Anambra in the Committee of Oil-Producing States in Nigeria. For more than 10 years, oil exploration activities have been ongoing in these communities, and the goods of the land is allegedly being plundered, with thousands of barrels of crude oil unaccounted for in the midst of environmental degradation. This prompted a visit by the Anambra State House of Assembly Committee on Petroleum and Mineral Resources, led by the chairman, Honorable Chidi Ibemeka, member representing Njikoka 1 constituency, where some unpalatable discoveries were made.
All we are trying to do is to give the Anambra a sense of belonging in the mineral resources being explored in our land, and as well community interest being protected, because we are lawmakers and as well the representative of people from different constituencies and communities where these oil and gas exploration companies are operating. So definitely we are speaking the mind of our people.
To further investigate the concerns of the host communities and the Anambra State government, the House during its plenary summoned the management of the oil company.
We just want to discuss about how best to manage the state. But in discussing that, don't bring issues, don't bring on lives here. Don't bring on lives, because we know, we people, even if we don't know, we know. We know what happened in Oguanocha, but when they set the panel of inquiry on that issue, the panel would now do the right thing on that.
Every oil company operating in any state should set up host community development trust where they are expected to pay in 3% of their annual budget estimate, from which they will now use such fund to develop the host communities.
For us, as the people's representatives, and in performance of our oversight function, what we did is also to protect the rights of Ndanambra, to live in a good environment, right of Ndanambra to receive royalties from a company that is operating in their land.
The Assembly is requesting the Oil Exploration and Production Company to, amongst other, provide evidence of host communities development trust fund in compliance with Section 235 subsection 3 of the Petroleum Industry Act, and prove that 3% of their annual budget has been paid for the years 2022, 2023 and 2024, while submitting documentary evidences of projects executed as part of their corporate social responsibility. The Speaker, Right Honorable Somtochukwu Deze, noted that the company's appearance before the Assembly is driven by the concern over insecurity in the host communities and the need to ensure that Anambra State government benefit from the company's operation. From the Anambra State House of Assembly, Daniel Ukbai, NTA News.
Building a sustainable transportation system in Cross River State, thereby providing a secure passengers movement, is what the State Passengers Welfare Scheme Bill 2024, which passed second reading on the floor of the Cross River State House of Assembly, seeks to achieve. Uduak Etim reports.
Cross River State Passenger Welfare Scheme Bill 2024 has been read the second time.
A bill for a law to establish the Cross River State Passengers Welfare Scheme, which passed second reading on the floor of the Cross River State House of Assembly, was sponsored by member representing Obubra 1 State Constituency, Ovat Agbo. The bill, which seeks to build a sustainable transportation system in Cross River State, requires compulsory compilation of passengers' basic data in form of manifest, provided for all commercial vehicles to fill before taking off from designated motor parks within the state. This will enable security agencies to track the movement of persons and to also provide reliable statistics of movement of people in and out of the state, as well as those traveling within the state from one local government area to another. The lawmaker highlighted other sections of the bill.
Mr. Speaker, the objective of this law includes the provision of a secure and safe passenger manifest policy program. 2. Building a sustainable transportation system in the state that ensures passenger safety and care welfare. Remunerating the suffering of the victims of the road accident by making sure that the beneficiaries are paid all their entitlements according to the degree of injuries.
Other lawmakers speak.
Operator in this sector, I know that the issue of manifest is something that has been in practice in the transport company. There are people that are responsible to certain transport companies are compliant to certain rules. I think what this bill is seeking to achieve is to upgrade it from a mere policy to become a law that can be referred to in case of any litigation.
The bill was later committed to the House Committee on Transport and Marine Services for legislative action. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
Meanwhile, two bills have scaled through third reading at the floor of the Oyo State House of Assembly following their resumption from about 6 weeks recess. Correspondent Oyeyinka Omole reports on these and other businesses of the House at resumed plenary.
At the resumption of plenary, two bills that were considered for third reading were Oyo State College of Nursing and Midwifery Further Amendment Bill 2024 and Oyo State Presumptive Tax Bill 2023. The House constituted itself into Committee of the Whole House for clause-by-clause consideration of the bills before it passed third reading.
Distinguished honorable colleagues, now is the third reading of the Oyo State Presumptive Tax Bill 2023, which has not been read for the third time and passed.
The House also considered a motion on the need for the executive arm of government to reposition technical and vocational education in Oyo State, co-sponsored by lawmaker representing Ibadan Southeast 1 and the Speaker of the House, Adebo Ogundoyin. Matter of urgent public importance call on the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, to assess the extent of damage caused by fire incident at Oronyo Market in Ibadan, with a view to provide relief materials to the victims and forestall future occurrence, among other recommendations.
That the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Inclusion to provide financial and material relief to traders who are mostly women affected by the fire at Oronyo Market of the Northeast local government, including assistance in rebuilding their shops and recovering lost inventories.
Earlier, A message from the governor detailed the assumption of duty of Governor Seyi Makinde from leave. The House is to reconvene on Tuesday, 24th September 2024 in Ibadan. Oyeyinka Omole, NTA News.
Sadly, a former president of the Senate, David Mark, has lamented over the death of former defense attaché to the Nigerian embassy in China, Brigadier General B.B. Tete. General Tete was Senator Mark's advisor on special duties during his tenure as President of the Senate of Nigeria. In a statement signed by Paul Umeme, media advisor to Senator David Mark, General Tete was reported dead after a brief illness at Nigerian Army Hospital in Kaduna last week. Mark, in a condolence message to the family of Tete, described him as a detribalized, dependable, and faithful ally who promoted peace and unity of Nigeria. The statement further stated that General Tete was a member of the Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA, Course 20. He is being buried in his hometown, Bakin Kogi, Kafanchan, in Kaduna State, this Wednesday. That concludes our news for this evening. For more updates, kindly follow NTA Parliament on platforms scrolling on your screen. Thank you for staying with us. Once again, I am Abubakar Galadima. Bye for now.